The Nuremberg Trials, held from 1945 to 1946, stand as a landmark in legal history. In the aftermath of World War II, the Allied powers sought to hold the defeated Nazi regime accountable for its horrific crimes. The trials, held in Nuremberg, aimed to deliver justice for the millions who had perished under Nazi rule. Never before had individuals been held responsible for such widespread atrocities in an international court. The world watched as former Nazi leaders faced charges of crimes against peace, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. The outcome of the Nuremberg trials would shape the future of international law and establish a precedent for holding individuals accountable for crimes against humanity. Some argued that the victors were simply exacting revenge, while others questioned the legitimacy of the newly established International Military Tribunal. However, the sheer scale of the Nazi crimes made it clear that a reckoning was necessary. Among the 24 defendants in the main Nuremberg trial were some of the most powerful figures in the Nazi regime. Hermann Göring, Hitler's former deputy and head of the Luftwaffe, cut a defiant figure throughout the proceedings. His sharp intellect and cunning attempts to deflect blame failed to sway the court. Rudolf Hess, once Hitler's close confidant, remained an enigma. Despite his claims of memory loss, the evidence of his role in the Nazi Party's rise to power was undeniable. These men, along with other high-ranking Nazi officials, represented the architects of a regime built on racial hatred, aggressive expansionism, and systematic genocide. The Nuremberg trials unfolded over months of intense legal proceedings, marked by dramatic testimonies and shocking revelations. One pivotal moment came with the presentation of evidence documenting the horrors of the Holocaust. Film footage from liberated concentration camps, along with eyewitness accounts from survivors, shocked the world. Another turning point came during the testimony of Rudolf Höss, the former commandant of Auschwitz. Höss's chillingly matter-of-fact account of the camp's operations demonstrated the calculated brutality of the Nazi genocide. The defendants' reactions to the charges varied widely, from defiance to expressions of remorse. These dramatic moments captured the world's attention and underscored the importance of the Nuremberg trials. They served as a stark reminder of the human cost of unchecked power and the urgent need for international justice. The Nuremberg trials concluded in October 1946 with the sentencing of the defendants. 12 were sentenced to death by hanging, including Göring and Ribbentrop. 7 others received prison sentences, while 3 were acquitted. The trials marked a watershed moment in international law, establishing the principle that individuals could be held accountable for crimes against humanity. The legacy of Nuremberg extends far beyond the courtroom. The trials led to the creation of the United Nations Genocide Convention in 1948. The principles established at Nuremberg influenced the development of international criminal tribunals for Yugoslavia and Rwanda. While the Nuremberg trials may not have eradicated impunity for international crimes, they represented a crucial step towards a more just and accountable world order. Despite their historical significance, the Nuremberg trials were not without their limitations and controversies. Critics argued that the trials applied victors' justice, with the Allies trying their defeated enemies for crimes they themselves had also committed. The firebombing of Dresden and the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki raised questions about the consistency of applying international law. Furthermore, the trials focused primarily on the highest echelons of the Nazi regime, leaving many lower-level perpetrators unpunished. Thousands of individuals who had participated in the Holocaust and other Nazi atrocities escaped justice. The trials also exposed the challenges of prosecuting crimes of such immense scale and complexity. While acknowledging these limitations, it is important to recognize that the Nuremberg trials represented a significant step forward in the pursuit of international justice. Central to the success of the Nuremberg Trials was the meticulous documentation of Nazi crimes by the Allied powers. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence, including captured German documents, photographs, film footage, and eyewitness testimonies. This evidence painted a horrifying picture of the systematic nature of Nazi atrocities. The meticulous documentation of Nazi crimes served several crucial purposes. It provided irrefutable proof of the Holocaust and exposed the inner workings of the Nazi regime. The trials served as a stark reminder that justice delayed is not necessarily justice denied. The Nuremberg trials culminated in the sentencing of the accused, a moment that combined elements of triumph and tragedy. For the victims of Nazi aggression and genocide, the trials offered a measure of justice. The sentences handed down, including the death penalty for several high-ranking Nazi leaders, sent a powerful message about the consequences of waging aggressive war and committing atrocities. However, the trials also highlighted the limitations of justice in the face of such unimaginable crimes. No punishment could truly atone for the millions of lives lost or the immeasurable suffering inflicted by the Nazi regime. The trials offered a glimpse into the depths of human depravity, but also affirmed the possibility of holding perpetrators accountable. The trials served as a reminder that justice, while imperfect, is a necessary pursuit. The Nuremberg trials stand as a landmark achievement in the pursuit of international justice. Held in the shadow of World War II, the trials represented a collective effort by the international community to hold the Nazi regime accountable for its horrific crimes. While imperfect, the trials established important legal precedents and raised global awareness of the Holocaust. The legacy of Nuremberg continues to shape international law and the pursuit of justice for mass atrocities. The trials inspired the creation of the United Nations Genocide Convention and influenced the development of international criminal tribunals. Despite these achievements, the Nuremberg trials also highlighted the challenges of achieving justice on a global scale. Nevertheless, the Nuremberg trials serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of accountability and the need to uphold international law. The legacy of Nuremberg lies not only in its historical significance, but also in its enduring message that impunity for mass atrocities must never again be tolerated.